have been withdrawn. Honorable third member for Beaubassin and Petite Rivière.
641, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, as the House is aware, the Gambling Regulatory Authority Amendment Act was passed on the 4th of July of 2025 and came into operation on the 7th of July 2025. The main aim of this amendment was to do away with the horse racing division and set up instead the horse racing integrity division, which has now the responsibility to protect the integrity of horse racing and ensure that horse racing is fair, clean, and free from corruption or malpractice. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, let me remind the House why we came up with the Horse Racing Integrity Division. The defunct Horse Racing Division had developed an incestuous relationship with a gambling don at the time. The people at the Horse Racing Division were working hand in hand with the organizer of horse racing, who also had his hand in the whole gambling industry. This unacceptable state of affairs tarnished the integrity of the whole racing industry. It totally destroyed public confidence in the horse racing industry and led to the oldest stable in Mauritius, the Gajador stable, to actually fold after more than a century of running horses in Mauritius. And they said they will come back only if there is an operation to clean up this corruption. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the government is determined to relaunch the horse racing industry. This was one of the promises made during the electoral campaign, and we are sticking to our promise. There have been hurdles, but we are overcoming them, and the horse racing organizer is, I understand, doing its utmost to ensure that horse racing starts at the earliest possible. We want a racing industry which will promote the welfare and leisure of the race-going public and bring back the race goers to the Champ de Mars. Already I can say, last Saturday, I was informed that the racing public had come in numbers far higher than before to the Champ de Mars to watch the first barrier trials of the season. Apparently there were more people present last Saturday at the racing than happened yesterday, and also the one organized last year by the defunct People Turf PLC of the gambling don. Mr. Deputy Speaker, with regard to part A of the question, I'm informed by the Gambling Regulatory Authority that the recruitment exercise was done in a transparent way and in line with best practices. The Gambling Regulatory Authority approved at its special meeting of 21st of February 2025 and 11th of March 2025, the launching of expressions of interest for the various positions within the proposed Horse Racing Integrity Division in anticipation to a new code, a new structure being codified. Now, the expressions of interest were published in 3 newspapers and on the website of the Gambling Regulatory Authority. At the Gambling Regulatory Authority board meeting of the 2nd of April 2025, an interview panel was constituted for all the posts comprising 3 board members of the Gambling Regulatory Authority. After the closing date for the submission of expressions of interest, an administrative screening exercise was carried out to ascertain that the qualifications and experience criteria were met. The candidates who satisfied these criteria were then called for an interview. The report of the interview panel for the positions of Chief Stipendiary Steward and the Deputy Chief Stipendiary Steward was approved by the Board on the 23rd of April 2025 and on 11th of June of this year for the other posts. Letters of award and service contracts were issued as on the 4th of July of this year. I'm tabling a list of all those persons who have been successful and accepted the letters of offer. As for part B of the question, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm informed that due diligence was carried out by the AML-CFT team of the GRA as per its internal procedures, which included a Supreme Court check, a Mauritius Revenue Authority check, world check, sanction list, criminal records, and media search. Furthermore, all selected candidates who have accepted the appointment have been given time to produce their certificate of character as soon as possible.
Yes, you have already read it.
Merci, Monsieur le Vice-président. Puisqu'on parle d'intégrité, Monsieur le Vice-président, le Premier ministre est-il au courant que sur le nouveau board des Stipes se trouve Monsieur YN, qui avait démissionné comme commissaire au MTC pour avoir accepté un cadeau d'un jockey, un délit qu'on peut considérer comme étant grave. Et aussi un ex-entraîneur, Monsieur PM, qui avait été sanctionné pour dopage par le nouveau Chief Stipe de la HRID. De plus, messieurs AR et AR, deux proches de M. JMLS et de PTP, respectivement, sont parmi les nouvelles recrues. Le Premier ministre peut-il nous dire s'il est satisfait justement de ce due diligence process qui a été effectué?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I don't run the GRA. They have their duty, they went through a procedure. This is what I explained, and these are the people who were selected after this very, very thorough procedure that was made.
Okay, one last question.
Yes.
A question, not a statement.
Le Premier ministre peut-il dire à la Chambre quels sont les critères qui ont été pris en compte pour le choix du Chief Stipe? Et sait-il que ce monsieur, le monsieur SDC, faisait partie du Licensing Committee de la GRA avant même sa nomination? N'est-ce pas un cas flagrant de conflit d'intérêts où un licencié, je termine, de la GRA agissait aussi comme décideur pour le régulateur? Est-ce que cela ne le disqualifie-t-il pas pour ce poste?
As I said, I don't run the GRA, but my information, he was never on the licensing committee.
You have one question? Okay, one last one.
May I ask the Honourable Prime Minister whether he can confirm that among the Stipes who have been nominated, freshly nominated, there are members of the Mauritius Turf Club?
I think, as far as I understand, they had all taken leave. It's a new paradigm that we are doing. They are not there anymore.
Yes, question B642 have been withdrawn, so we proceed with question B643.
Yes, B643,
Honourable
Mr. Deputy
First
Speaker.
Member for la Carrière.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, with your permission, I'm replying to parliamentary question B643, and I'm not sure whether you said 646 is also withdrawn. Otherwise, I'll answer to both of them together. I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that reward money is paid to police officers who engage in the fight against dangerous drugs based on the following factors. First, the nature and the circumstances, the person arrested and the number thereof, the quantity and value of drugs and exhibits secured, the risk involved, and the reliability and regularity of the informers. With regard to the quantum allocated to police officers in each of the past 5 years, I'm providing this information. 2020-2021, a sum of 6,220,000 rupees was budgeted, but 1,113,800 were disbursed to informers, and 225,540 to police officers. You can see the big difference. Police officers were getting less than the informers. Again, for 2021-2022, 224,000 for police officers, but 13,269,200 for informers. Again, in 2022-2023, 229,740 to police officers, but 74,485,040 rupees for informers. I must say, in 2023-2024 and in 2024-2025, no money was dispersed to police officers at all, but the informers got 2023-2024 84,613,750 rupees, and the last year 56,014,300 rupees. Let me give the details of the monthly disbursement for the reward of money from July 2024 to December 2024. In July, the total amount disbursed was 4,586,450 rupees. In August 2024, it was 368,900 rupees. But in September 2024, it jumped to 11,242,900. And in October 2024, it jumped to 38,932,450. You'll be glad to hear that in November and December of this year, the amount disbursed is nil, zero. Now, the House will know it, I'm sure they have seen the expression, that from September to October 2024, a total amount of 50,175,350 rupees was paid as reward money, not to police officers, only to informers. Now, this is 2 months prior to the general election. You can guess the reason why this happened. Mr. Deputy Speaker, one disturbing element that comes from that information is that the amount disbursed exceeds by 4 the amount budgeted. In other words, as usual, just give money that is not theirs. This in itself raises several questions as to the manner in which that money was disbursed. It is worth mentioning that in 2014, it was decided to put an end to the practice of giving reward money, and there was very strong suspicion of abuse. However, in 2016, this is when we left government, but in 2016, the practice was restored. Now, in 2020, soon after his appointment, the then Commissioner of Police, Mr. Sarvan Singh, tried to rationalize it, because he wasn't allowed to change it, but he tried to rationalize the procedure through an amendment to the Police Standing Order 122. Subsequently, in 2021, Mr. Sarvan Singh was gone. The new Commissioner of Police, Mr. Anil Kumar Dip, he again amended the Standing Order, Police Standing Order 122, which allowed payment to reward money to informers, although the case may not have been disposed by the court, even before he was giving the money. And also simply from obtaining a report from the forensic lab that certifying that the exhibits were secured as dangerous drugs. Mr. Deputy Speaker, is it a coincidence that as from 2022, we note a phenomenal increase to the amount disbursed, as I said, to informers, with hardly any money given to police officers? Even a cursory look at some of the information provided suggests that those at the helm of the police were wallowing in a muck of malfeasance and corruption, with a deeply entrenched complicity throughout the whole procedure put in place. In fact, the whole procedure was put in place for them to be able to do this. It also begs the question as to what exactly was the role of the manager financial operations and the internal control play in the management and finance of the police force. This is being inquired into. What was their role? What were they there for? Mr. Deputy Speaker, as the House is aware, the Financial Crimes Commission is inquiring into the whole issue of reward money, and we are amending the Financial Crimes Commission Act precisely this afternoon so that there can be a joint inquiry whenever the need arises. Mr. Deputy Speaker, in view of the high risk of abuse and illicit use of the reward money within the police force, and to establish a transparent and accountable system to prevent such corrupt practices, the FCC, as an independent institution, and as mandated under Section 62 to subsection 2J, section 6 2J of the Financial Crimes Commission Act, they are reviewing the practices and procedures regarding the disbursement of reward money to police officers and to informers.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. May I ask the Honourable Prime Minister, in view of the opacity surrounding the procedures with regard to disbursement of those reward money, which amounts to a big scandal with regards to the sum being paid, is it not a fit and proper case under the new Public Inquiries Act 2025, to set up an inquiry with regards to procedures and disbursement of money from 2015 up to that date with regard to those big sums of money. We are talking, as per reports in the press, more than 200 million rupees with regards to reward money. Is it not a fit and proper case for a public inquiry?
The cases in court, actually, that are being exactly for the amount of reward money. Mr. Liam Dial, for example, who was Assistant Commissioner of Police, was arrested precisely for one of the things he was arrested with this. And he appeared in front of the District Court of Port Louis with a provisional charge. And again, other things are being investigated.
Honorable Jumon.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Honorable Prime Minister, can we have an idea of the amount of drugs seized for the period September-October 2024, where 50 million...
We are talking about money, reward money. We are not talking about... I don't think that Honorable Prime Minister will have this answer. Come with a proper question. There's a question. You relevant to this question?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. May I ask the Honorable Prime Minister? Thank you. May I ask the Honorable Prime Minister whether he has recommended or he has been made aware by the Commissioner of Police if a departmental inquiry within the police has been set up in regards to reward money, and if that can be extended to the different unit of the police, namely the SST, which itself has been in the limelight for uncouth practices, particularly with regard to the declared amount seized, but against amount what was really seized. Thank you.
Precisely, this inquiry is ongoing within the police department.
Honorable First Member for Lakavian Felix.
B645, please.
645. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I refer the Honourable Member to the reply I made to PQIB 51 on the 17th of December of 2024, where I had provided details of the main components of the Safe City project. With regards to part A1 and 2 of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that the project was initially planned for the installation of 4,000 intelligent video surveillance cameras and 300 intelligent traffic surveillance cameras. There has been no change in the number of cameras to be installed. All the intelligent video surveillance cameras have been installed, all of them. However, there are 4 which have been damaged and 24 are being relocated. Concerning the intelligent traffic surveillance cameras, up to now, only 157 of the cameras have been installed. The remaining 143 will be installed after completion of civil works scheduled to be completed by the end of September 2025. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as regard to part B of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that the maintenance cost is included in the contract sum. The operation and maintenance costs amount to $8.7 million annually. As of June 2025, an amount of 98 million rupees, 952,549 rupees and 45 cents have been paid to Mauritius Telecom. I'm further informed that the contracts make provisions for Mauritius Telecom to conduct 2 plant refreshers with updated technologies every 5 to 7 years, which are included in the contract sum. There is no additional investment, in other words. The first refresh will start in December of this year, and the second will be planned for December 2032, I believe.
Honorable First Member for Savan Black.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. B647.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I wish to inform the House that MauBank Limited is a subsidiary owned by MauBank Holdings Limited. The government of Mauritius is in turn the sole shareholder of MauBank Holdings Limited. MauBank Limited has been incorporated in January of 2016 to carry on banking businesses of ex-Mauritius Post and Cooperative Bank. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm informed by the MauBank Limited that over the period 2016 to 2024, the company has retained the services of 39 attorneys and barristers in the private practice, of which 15 are law firms. The total amount paid to them is 40,930,790 rupees. The list is long, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I propose to list table the list of attorneys and barristers, but let me say, among the top earners, Ravin Chetty, SC Chambers, was paid an amount of 6,289,350 rupees. There is Maudemutu Solicitors, 5,763,322. I could go on and go on, but I think it's preferable to table the list.
Next question, the Honorable First Member for Savan Black River.
B648.
648.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I again wish to refer the Honourable Member to the reply I made to Parliamentary question B205 on March of this year, where I gave details of the seizure of 92.5 kilograms of cocaine in the Trop Tapel on the 10th of July 2019. The value, you were asking about values, that value was 1.4 billion rupees, 1.4 milliard, 1 million. Mr. Deputy Speaker, with regard to part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that as the case has international ramification, the police is working in close collaboration with Interpol and other countries in the region for the identification and arrest of probable suspects. The police has sent the case file together with the report from the Financial Intelligence Unit to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for advice, and therefore the course of action will be taken accordingly. As for part B1 and 2 of the question, I'm informed that in accordance with the procedures set out in the Police Standing Order 138, all the drugs seized is safely kept in police custody and it is under a 24-hour surveillance.
The Honorable Second Member for Vieux-Grand-Port, Postal.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. It's question B/649, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I regard to part A of the question, the public sector debt in nominal terms amounted to 238 billion rupees as at the end of December 2019 and rose, 2014, I'm sorry, and rose to 608.2 billion rupees as at the end of December 2024. In other words, from 238 billion in December 2014 to 608.2 billion in December 2024. In other words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, if we just make a quick calculation, it has almost doubled over the 10-year period. At the time we left office in December 2014, the public sector debt to the GDP ratio stood at 59.5%, which was below the 60% then in force, which we had put it in together with what was being done in Europe, 60% of GDP. However, the previous government's irresponsible fiscal stewardship resulted in a sharp increase in the debt ratio, reaching 87.4% by December 2024. They had themselves extended the ceiling to a statutory ceiling of 80%. From 60% to 80%. And they themselves raised that, again, went to 87.4%. The ceiling was raised precisely in an attempt to conceal the extent of the fiscal mismanagement. That is why it was done. In real terms, that is after adjusting for the rise in GDP deflate over the past 10 years, public sector debt stood around 382 billion as at the end of December 2024. And concerning part B of the question, it is manifestly evident that the estimated level of public debt of 642 billion rupees is unsustainable. We cannot sustain it. According to the 2025 IMF Article 4, consultation report, Mauritius is at a high risk of sovereign stress, reflecting mostly a high level of vulnerability in the medium and long term. This is why I say to the people who supposedly are protesting, they have no idea. They have no idea what they're saying. The previous government has burdened this country with an overwhelming level of debt. In the fiscal year 2024-2025 alone, public sector debt rose by 83 billion rupees, which is equivalent to an average daily increase of 227 million rupees. We had no option, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we had no option to act responsibly and come up with a fiscal consolidation plan with concrete measures aimed at reducing both the budget deficit and the public sector debt, which the previous government saddled the country with. Without the implementation of these measures, public sector debt would have spiraled out of control, and they would have had severe repercussions on the public finances, also on the broader economy, and on the well-being of the population, including, I tell people who don't realize, including no pension to anyone in the coming decades if we don't do anything now. Not even 60, nobody would get pensions. This is what we are facing. This would have been inevitably also, Mr. Deputy Speaker, led to a downgrade of our credit rating to junk status by Moody's. Some people don't understand. Why should we care about Moody's? There are consequences. Such a downgrade would have had far-reaching implications, including higher borrowing costs, adverse effects on the financial services sector. The financial sector would be dead. The depreciation of the rupee will continue. Capital flight will increase. Will go more and more. Why would people put money in a country which has junk status? Nobody does this. FDI, therefore, would actually reduce to practically nil, and there would be broader negative effects on the economy. It would seriously, very seriously, jeopardize our long-term fiscal stability. With respect to debt servicing, interest payments on government debt, just interest payment, I think many people don't realize. Juste sur les intérêts qu'on doit payer, c'est 21,8 milliards for 2024-2025. Just to pay for the debt, for the interest on the debt. This is the second largest expenditure in the whole government budget after the basic retirement pension. This year, due to substantial debt accumulation over the past decade again, interest rates are projected to rise to a staggering 26.1 billion rupees. Some people might say, but you have been in government, but the debt is there. We have to pay the interest on the debt. It will be 26.1 billion rupees. This is a rise of 20% already compared to the preceding year. It's not our doing, it's the debt that they have accumulated that we have to pay now. Instead of paying 26.1 billion rupees as interest on debt, imagine that amount of money could have been used more effectively. It could have been allocated to different sectors, priority sectors such as education, such as health, such as housing. This money could have gone there. The money we have to pay the debt, the interest on the debt. Thus, the opportunity cost of high debt servicing is substantial. It diverts resources, as I said, from the developmental priorities that could stimulate economic growth and improving living standards. Sustained high-level debt, if less unaddressed, risks undermining, as I said, the whole country's growth potential and fiscal resilience. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this is why we have made a firm commitment to reclaim the fiscal serenity and gradually bring the public sector debt to a GDP ratio to a more sustainable level of 60%, as it was when we left government in 2014.
Yes, everyone. You go. No. Time is over. With the chair, the table has been advised that the following PQs have been withdrawn. B659, B664, B651, B653, B660, B655, B654, B656, B652, B658, B663, and B662. Now we proceed to question addressed to Honourable Ministers. PQ, Honourable Member, the table has been advised that PQB 665 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness. The Honourable Fourth Member for Port Louis North and Motai.
B665, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, according to United Nations and World Health Organization, by 2050, nearly 75% of countries are expected to have fertility rates below replacement levels, that is 2.1 children per woman. In Mauritius, women continue to give birth to fewer children than in the past. The total fertility rate, which is an indication of the average number of babies born to a woman during her childbearing period, has maintained a general decreasing trend after 2002. In 2023, the fertility rate was 1.35. For the year 2024, the total fertility rate was estimated at 1.41, with 12,088 live births. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, fertility decisions are personal, yet shaped by systemic factors such as economic situation of a person, gender roles, and cultural shifts. Moreover, risk of career disruption, child care stress, social expectations may be a deterrent to pregnancy. The issue of low birth rate is very complex and requires a multi-sectoral approach. In this context, a multi-sectoral committee is being set up to look into the issues pertaining to increasing birth rate. The rising prevalence of alcohol, tobacco, and illicit drugs, particularly among young adults of reproductive age, poses a significant yet often overlooked threat to national fertility trends. Alcohol and tobacco disrupt the normal functioning of the reproductive systems of both men and women and contribute to reduced fertility. These substances use also unfortunately cause poor pregnancy outcomes such as miscarriages or stillbirths, which may discourage couples from planning a pregnancy. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I wish to inform the House that various measures have been taken by my ministry, which include, among others, preconception care clinics have been set up in primary health care centers to educate women on the importance of planned pregnancies. A fertility clinic has been established at SSRN Hospital to address infertility issues. The attendance to this clinic was 462 since January 2024. Intrauterine insemination is currently being offered, and the clinic has conducted 62 interventions in January 2024 so far. Maternity leave has been increased from 14 to 16 weeks, and paternity leave of 4 weeks was introduced in 2024 budget. Community healthcare officers conduct extensive canvassing and counseling for women of reproductive age in areas such as family planning, preconception care, premarital counseling, and postpartum contraception, boosting antenatal services and providing resources like the Maternal and Child Health Handbook to guide parents and track health. Breastfeeding time is being allocated to breastfeeding mothers. Tobacco cessation clinics have been set up in regional hospitals and primary health care centers. 12 addiction treatment units, method and substitution centers, detoxification and rehabilitation centers have been set up to address issues of alcohol and substance abuse in various health centers across the island. Brangseco Mental Health Care Center, Motailong Hospitals, among others. Mr. Deputy Speaker, I am also informed that there are additional measures and services being provided by other ministries, private health institutes and NGOs. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Family Welfare is ensuring that free pre-primary education is provided to children aged between 3 to 5 years. The Ministry of Labour and Industrial Relations and Employment, through the Workers' Rights Act, in addition to maternity protection schemes, encourages flexi-time arrangements. The Mauritius Family Planning and Welfare Association is continuously creating awareness on declining birth rate in the community through sensitization campaign, focus groups, discussions, awareness among youth. The Gynecology and Fertility Center, which is situated in Rosehill, is operational since 5th October 2007 provides services such as assisted reproductive treatment. Harley Street Fertility Center, Mauritius Limited, situated at L'Oréal, also provides fertility investigation and treatment. CK Fertility Clinic, located at CK Welkin, offers comprehensive range of fertility services such as in vitro fertilization, frozen embryo transfer, intrauterine insemination, etc.
Yes, you have one
Speaker.
question. Yes.
Question was addressed to the Minister of Social Security to talk about the measures of government to address the birth rate, which is in decline for years, aging population. Nonetheless, will the Honourable Minister, although he's not the substantive minister, acknowledge that direct cash transfers are internationally recognized as the most
The Honourable Minister is replying the question as a substantive minister. No, you said... No. This is a question to be addressed by him.
I'll ask again. Will the Honourable Minister acknowledge that direct cash transfers are internationally regarded as the most effective incentive for low-income families, especially in countries like South Korea, even pays 35,000 rupees a month per family to encourage saving? Can the Minister therefore explain why this government has chosen instead to completely phase out by 2028 every existing benefit in Mauritius, namely the CSG income allowance, the child allowance, the independent scheme allowance, the pregnancy care allowance, and the maternity care allowance, even reducing allowances for children with disabilities by 26%. How does he recognize?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, they have looted the country. You have the Prime Minister's answer. They have bled the country. Why? From where are we going to get billions of rupees to spend? Whatever is possible, whatever is humanly possible, we are doing. And I have given you a comprehensive answer to the question.
Next question, B666. B666, I've already called the question. B666. I've already called B666.
You give 5 or 6.
My reply, you can't challenge my ruling. I said I've already called the other question. B666, please. B666. B666. If you are not satisfied, you know, you have been a deputy speaker, you know what to do if you are not satisfied with my ruling. B666. 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 Honorable Samapati?
Yes.
Order. Honorable Samapati,
Thank you,
B666.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Question B666. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, the honourable member may wish to note that the legislation no longer provides for child beyond control. If she is referring to child with behavioural concerns, the reply is as follows. From January to June 2025, the number of cases reported to my ministry stands at 440, among which 302 children were having only mild behavioral concerns and 138 children were found to be having serious behavioral concerns. Mr. Deputy Speaker, cases of children having mild behavioral issues are addressed through psychological support provided to both the child and their parents by my ministry. Where appropriate, these children are placed under the Child Mentoring Scheme for further guidance and support. From January 2025 to date, 28 children have been placed under the Child Mentoring Scheme. With regard to children assessed having serious behavioral concerns, they are referred to the Mauritius Probation and Aftercare Services falling under the purview of the Prime Minister's Office for parenting support intervention. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, children with serious behavioral concerns should not be treated as children in conflict with the law, but should be handled differently. I wish to inform the House that, to comply with this requirement and for a more professional and children's rights-based approach in dealing with cases of CSBC. Consultations are being held presently with different stakeholders, including the PMO, the Ombudsperson for Children, the Probation and Aftercare Service, and my ministry to come up with a proposal. The redesigning of the RYC, Rehabilitation Youth Center, is also envisaged.
Thank you. The Honourable Second Member for Savannah and Black River.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. B667, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I wish to inform the House that the MOU between QA UK and Higher Education Commission was signed on 19th May 2025. I'm informed by the HEC that following the signing of the MOU and further to applications received for accreditation of programs involving UK awarding bodies, the Commission has been engaging in discussions with QA UK on two fronts. Firstly, HEC is sharing information regarding UK universities that are already established while simultaneously holding discussions with institutions concerning their future program offering, with view to streamlining the accreditation process under the MOU. Since the signature of the MOU between HEC and QA UK, the HEC has processed accreditation application for programs awarded by UK universities, including Swansea University, Kingston, and Middlesex University. Secondly, the HEC is responding to expressions of interest already received from the new UK universities willing to offer their programs in Mauritius, including King's College London, University College London, London South Bank University, which seek to deliver their programs in Mauritius. The HEC will proceed with the accreditation of these programs under the MOU framework following receipt of review reports from QA UK.
Yes, you have a supplementary.
The Deputy Speaker, sir, can the Minister inform the House how many accreditation criteria are being used by the Higher Education Commission to accredit the program?
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, currently we are using 14 criteria to accredit programs, and following the announcement in the budget to review the HEC Act, we are going to further streamline the procedure.
Okay. The Honourable Second Member for Warwick.
Yes, thank you. E668. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with your permission, I will answer the speaker on behalf of the substantive Minister of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation. I'm informed by the Mauritius Post Limited that there are at present 5 post offices in Rodrigues situated at Port-Maturin, Rivière-Coco, La Ferme, Grande Montagne and Mont-Lubin. I'm further informed that the following issues in respect of the post offices have been reported. 1. At Port-Maturin Post Office, waterproofing is required. 2. Rivière-Coco, servicing of CCTV and alarm system, dislodging of toilet and electrical repairs. 3. La Ferme, Rodrigues Regional Assembly has been requested to do needful to repair a water pump serving the whole building. As regard post offices at Grande Montagne and Mont-Lubin, no issues have been reported. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, concerning Port-Maturin Post Office, a proposal to launch a tender exercise in 2020 for renovation as well as waterproofing works could not be carried out due to financial constraints. In 2024, a tender exercise was launched for waterproofing works, but was not approved by the then management. However, the Mauritius Post Office Limited is, at present, exploring options to address these issues by allocating funds in its 2025-2026 budget for renovation of post offices. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, as regard Part B of the question, I'm informed that following a meeting held in September 2024 between Air Mauritius Limited and Mauritius Post Office Limited, The latter issued a notice dated 18th October 2024 to inform members of the public that due to the substantial increase in the volume of air parcels and packets destined to Rodrigues and the limited cargo space on Air Mauritius flights to Rodrigues, the regular dispatch has been temporarily suspended. However, the Mauritius Post Office Limited continued to send and is still sending non-voluminous packets of approximately 500 grams by air. As for packages above 500 grams, the Mauritius Post Office Limited was sending same by sea. By end of January 2025, with a decline in postage of parcels in Rodrigues, the Mauritius Post Office Limited resumed sending parcels up to 2 kg by air. Nevertheless, in May 2025, Air Mauritius Limited informed Mauritius Post Office Limited that due to weight restrictions, cargo and mail to Rodrigues could not be uplifted on its flights and was not accepting new bookings in order to prioritize clearance of pending dispatches. Consequently, the Mauritius Post Office Limited has indicated that the suspension of voluminous packages above 500 grams by air is being maintained. Thank you.
Next question. Honorable Third Member for Culture Media Moka.
B669.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I am informed by the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit that the Photographic Enforcement Device project, implemented between 2012 and 2014, consists of a network of 63 fixed-speed cameras installed by ProGuard Limited on public roads across the island to detect and record vehicles exceeding the posted speeds limits of 40 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers per hour and 80 kilometers per hour, and also 110 kilometers per hour respectively. The photographs captured by these cameras are transmitted to the back office located at Samlo Tower, Port Louis, the seat of the TRMSU. The Photographic Enforcement Device Unit, operated by the police, processes these offences, and the Photographic Enforcement Device notices, which is also called PEDNS, are sent by post to the traffic offenders for payment of the appropriate fines at the court. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, concerning Part A of the question, I wish to inform the House that out of 63 speed cameras, 4 which are located at Saint-Julien Village, Calbas on motorway M2, Brisé-Verdière and Cas-Noyal are currently not operational. These cameras have developed defects and were therefore sent to the manufacturer, Truvelo UK, for diagnosis and repairs. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to Part B of the question, I wish to inform the House that the maintenance services for the fixed-speed camera system is currently being provided by the same company, ProGuard Limited, at an annual cost of approximately Mauritian rupees 27.85 million rupees excluding VAT, as ProGuard Limited is the sole representative of both the manufacturer, Truvelo UK, for speed camera, and the developer, Fisher Limited, for the software in Mauritius. The contract also caters for a yearly provisional sum of 3 million rupees, excluding VAT, which is used for repairs, new spare parts, and relocation of speed cameras to new sites. So that makes it a total of 30.85 million rupees per year. That is excluding VAT, which is spent on these speed cameras. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as regards Part C of the question, I wish to inform the House that the contract for the design, supply, installation, commissioning and initial operation of automatic speed enforcement cameras were awarded to ProGuard Limited in 2012. Regarding Part D of the question, I am informed that the TRMSU has carried out recent surveys for the installation of speed cameras along the following hazardous locations, namely Valeta Bypass B6, D'Épinay along Old Flack Road B20, and Melrose along the main road B27. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as announced in the budget exercise 2025-26, with regard to the use of safe city cameras for detection of traffic offences, the TRMSU of my ministry will initiate consultations with the Mauritius Police Force and Mauritius Telecom with a view to implementing this budgetary measure that seeks to enhance road safety in Mauritius. As a matter of fact, a first meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, 16 June 2025, I am informed.
The Honourable Second Member for Flag Bunakai.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. B670, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to Part A of the question, I am informed by the National Land Transport Authority that it has not received any representation regarding the transferability of a public service vehicle license to a person, for taxi, I mean, to a person other than a legal heir. However, I am also given to understand that the criteria laid down by the previous management of the NLTA to consider application for transfer of taxi licenses to persons other than a legal heir are very restrictive and may have to be reviewed. Therefore, the new management at the NLTA will work out a new set of criteria to make it easier for licenses to be transferred between two unrelated parties, subject to some reasonable conditions being satisfied, such as the proposed transferee having worked in the car for which a license is being transferred continuously for a period of time as full-time or part-time driver, and the proposed transferee having a clean certificate of character, obviously. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as regards Part B of the question, there was indeed a delay in issuing the full-time or part-time driver certificate, as such applications were dealt within more than 12 months by the NLTA under the previous management, and therefore penalizing both the taxi operators as well as the applicants for full-time or part-time driving certificate. However, as soon as the new management of the NLTA was appointed, I have requested the new team, to look into the streamlining of procedures for the services it was offering. And one of them was to look into the possibility to issue a provisional certificate to applicants for part-time or full-time drivers. Being given that such applications are now being processed diligently in about 2 months, instead of 12 months, the Honourable Member will surely concur that there is now perhaps no need to issue a provisional certificate at this point in time. With additional offences or with additional officers posted at the inspectorate section of the NLTA, this time period will be even shorter, given time. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is to be noted that during the month of June 2025, that is in 1 month's time, 241 files pending since year 2021 have been cleared in respect of applications for transfer of PSV, contract car, contract bus, road service licenses, as well as part-time and full-time driver certificate, which did not happen at the NLTA for a decade.
One supplementary.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I thank the Honourable Minister, and the taxi community is certainly appreciating the way the demand for part-time passengers are being dealt. However, will the Minister consider a reform in the system, because currently one part-time driver can apply for a pass, but for only one vehicle. So whether this can be reformed so that that pass allows him to work not only in one taxi, but in multiple taxis. This will create further job opportunities for part-time and even full-time drivers.
I'm not too sure what are the implications. I can discuss with the officers at the NLTA with a view to giving, as requested, due consideration to the proposal.
Honourable Second Member for Warding.
Yes, thank you. B/671.
Sir, in the absence of the substantive minister, I'm replying to this question. I am informed that drafting instructions have been transmitted to the Attorney General's office for a draft sports bill. Indeed, I am informed that the Ministry of Youth and Sports has invited the public to submit their views and suggestions via a press communiqué for a comprehensive new sports bill, instead of piecemeal amendments to the existing legislation. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, concerning Part A of the question, I am informed that submissions have been received from the Rodrigues Commission for Sports. Additionally, my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, personally headed a mission to Rodrigues from 6th to 10th April 2025. There, he had the opportunity to have a first-hand understanding des réalités du terrain through meetings with the Commissioner for Sports and his officers, as well as representatives of Rodrigues regional sports committees. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to Part B of the question, I am informed that during his mission to Rodrigues, my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, did receive representations regarding the setting up of a Comité Régional Olympique et Sportif, also known as CROS. Specific provisions have been made in the new sports bill in respect of Rodrigues, and therefore the question of setting up a special committee does not arise.
The Honourable Second Member for Grand Bay Putedo.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, sir. B672.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, Section 84 of the Workers' Rights Act stipulates that a worker shall be entitled to a transitional unemployment benefit where his employment is terminated by his employer for a period of not less than 1 month and no more than 12 months. The rate of the transitional employment benefit payable is subject to a ceiling of 25,475 as follows. First 3 months, 90% of the basic wage. 4 to 6 months, 60% of the basic wage. 7 to 12 months, 30% of the basic wage. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, with regard to Part A of the question, the number of applications received and approved from 2020 to 2024 are as follows. For 2020, 16,170 applications were received, out of which 13,326 applications had been approved. For 2021, 11,264 applications received, out of which 8,930 approved. 2022, 8,145 applications received, 5,578 approved. 2023, 7,264 applications received, 4,880 approved. 2024, 8,543 applications received, 5,992 applications approved. As regards Part B of the question, Section 84, subsection 5 provides that where a worker has made claim for TUB and the supervising officer of my ministry is satisfied that the case is bona fide, the supervising officer shall within 7 days, notify the Ministry of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity to effect payment. The latter has up to 10 days from receipt of claim of my ministry to effect payment to the laid-off workers. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I am informed that based on statistics retrieved from the computerized Workfare program system, the average time taken to process application from the date of registration of the worker on the Workfare program to the date the Ministry of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity is notified to effect payment is as follows. For 2020, 78 days. For 2021, 59 days. For 2022, 58 days. For 2023, 70 days. For 24, 61 days. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I'm informed that there are several reasons for the delay to process the application within the statutory delay of 7 days. Most of the delays are due to delay to secure document information from uncooperative employers, delay from the workers to submit the required documents, shortage of staff. But the main reason remains, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, that before the supervising officer approve the transfer, he must be satisfied that the claim is bona fide, and unfortunately, he undergoes a series of consultation with the worker and the employer, and that takes time. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I'm also informed that for the disbursement to be made to the beneficiaries, on average, the Ministry of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity takes an additional 2 weeks from the date of notification is made. The time to process the application, therefore, is up to 10 times more than the statutory requirement of 7 days, 10 times. While the application is being processed, the worker does not receive any payment, and the delay in processing the application defeats the purpose of the Act, which is to provide the laid-off worker with immediate relief. In order to bring improvement to the Workfare program and to make it more efficient, at the level of our ministry, I have set up a technical committee. The committee also comprises representatives of the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Social Integration, Social Security and National Solidarity. I'm informed that the committee has met on 8 occasions and has held consultation with business Mauritius, with various trade unions and other stakeholders, and is presently finalizing its recommendations.
Yes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, sir. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House what mechanism or facilities are provided to officers to ensure secure and efficient files transport from regional offices around the island to the head office?
Yes, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. What I have done when I came to office is to eliminate the duplicity that occurred, because previously, whenever a worker made a complaint, he had to report to the place, the labor office closer to his place of employment. But when he was laid off, subsequently, he had to go to the labor office where he is residing. So there was duplicity and there was transfer of files, and this was taking a lot of delay. So what I have done, I've given instruction now that it is the same labor office that have taken the complaint, that have registered the complaint of the worker, that is now going to process the workers, the application for workers program. We don't have a new inquiry starting in with the place of residence.
Thank you. I suspend the sitting for 1.5 hours.